I didn't stand up, so okay, I gotta have to kind of bend down, and hopefully you can see this. So, wanted to talk through how this course is set up. So this whole half right here is the course you guys are in now, and then we'll go into the second course for next semester, just so you guys get a big picture of what the whole paper is. So if some of you have already heard this, fast forward, get to the next part when I talk more about research, okay? So again, you guys picked your topic, your problem, your issue that you're dealing with. And I've told you along the lines, don't think of a solution now. Some of you kind of are you still have a solution in mind. Again, it's not about what you think is a good solution, it's what the research is pointing at as a good solution. So I don't want to see the solution in any of this, and I don't want your solution to dictate how you research. Because it's supposed to be that you're looking at things from all different angles and getting outside of what you already think. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I'm crossing out that solution. It should not show up in this first chapter, all right? So you're really focusing on your topic and your problem. All right, so chapter 1, a little bit of confusion. I know that the sample paper, I keep directing you back to the sample paper, and the sample paper doesn't have an introduction. We will have an introduction. So introduction, purpose, setting, history and background, scope and significance. That's all your first chapter. We have written each of those, one each week, and then you guys have now done the rough draft. Sorry, pause. I want to go back to topic and problem. Some of you, now that you're getting to this point, you're going, wait a second, why did I pick this topic? I'm sorry I didn't guide you better on that. I think I tried to guide as much as I could. If you are having major doubts about how to progress through the rest of this paper, and that once you see this whole diagram, if you're going, man, my topic is really not a good topic, and I think I have something else, I am willing to work with you on getting caught up on a new topic, okay? So if you're in that boat of going, I'm gonna really struggle for the rest of this paper, if I keep with this topic, I would much rather us stop here where we're a quarter of the way through writing this thing and redo it than have you struggle all the way through. So if you're in that boat, contact me, we'll work through it, okay? All right, so you guys have done all of this. You guys should have turned in your rough draft. I was very easy on grading each of these because I know you guys are getting the feel for how this is written. I want you now, if you haven't done this already, you should have taken all of the feedback I've given you on all of these pieces, made those changes, put it all in one document, and turn it in as your rough draft for chapter 1, all right? So please, if you haven't done that already, please do that soon. If you're stuck on one of these, it might be helpful because I know a lot of you guys, when you're writing setting, you had some history. When you're writing history, you had some setting or some significance, and you're kind of playing around with that. Plop it all into one paper. See how it flows. Then start to hit some of that clarity, okay? So if you're still stuck on some of these areas, talk to me about them because the purpose is kind of a short why. The setting is where this is taking place. History and background is what has already been happening with this problem. What's some of the history that goes into this? And then the scope is what you are going to be focusing on in your paper. You can't solve the whole problem, but you can solve part of it or you can focus in one area. Significance is why is this important? Why is this research going to make a difference, okay? But again, nothing about your solution here. Now we're moving into your research and lit review. All right, this is your whole chapter 2. You're gonna start reading, all right? I'll go back into some of the details. Some point before the end of when you're finishing chapter 2, you are writing your chapter 1 final draft, okay? So you're gonna take all the feedback I've given you from chapter 1 rough draft that you're submitting or have submitted, and then later you're gonna make all the changes again. So I've given you changes when you submitted them individually, then I gave you changes here, now I'm gonna give you changes again over here. So just remember, you've got a lot of ways to keep editing. So you're gonna be turning this in before you even turn in your chapter 2 rough draft. But this is the research. You're gonna be looking for primary sources and peer review articles. If some of you want to do individual interviews, that would be a primary source, and you can. But really I'm looking for kind of journal articles, academic articles that talk about your topic and problem, not your solution. Does that make sense? Hopefully, as you're researching, you're discovering some solutions. But this is all that knowledge that you need to gain. Then, next semester, we're gonna move into MRD 420. Hopefully I'm with you on this, all right? That's my plan. This is where you come up with your solution. Your solution moves into a hypothesis. Sorry, I'm trying to get on my video. I'll turn it a little. Okay, so you have to write a hypothesis. This means that if we do this, it is going to mean a 25% increase in blah, 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 okay? Or it will mean a decrease in this, okay? So you need to figure out how you're going to make an impact on your problem. Then you have to create a data plan. That is basically how, if you were going to implement this solution, how you're going to track its effectiveness. None of this you're actually going to put into effect. You are not going to have to go prove your hypothesis. You're not going to have to put your solution into effect. You are not going to have to actually do your action plan. You are just writing about if you were. That makes sense, all right? So it doesn't have to be fully realistic, like you're going to go out and do this, you know? It has to be realistic for like somebody to be able to do this, but you don't have to actually do this within this semester or ever. It's just a plan. This is all a plan, all right? So these three things, your hypothesis, data plan, how you're gonna collect the data to show that it's effective, and then this is your action plan. These are the steps to implement the solution. First, I'm gonna do, not you. First, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. So you're writing out all those steps. That's your chapter 3. Then you move into chapter 4 and you do a SWOT analysis. SWOT is a huge thing in businesses and organizations. If you haven't been doing a SWOT, you will see it a lot more. People do it on their own personal or employment evaluations with their boss, or you do it about a program, all right? So you are going to analyze your solution, your action plan, and figure out the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is basically answering all the questions your boss might have about this action plan and the hypothesis and data plan and solution. You're saying, yeah, I've already thought of all of that. This is what's really strong about it. This might be a weakness. These are opportunities for us, and this might be a threat. So you're gonna walk through all of that. That is gonna complete your paper. So by the end of fall, by Christmas, you will be done writing your whole paper. I didn't diagram it out, but it's MRD 424, which will take place next spring. That you're going to be cleaning up all of your writing. So it's almost like you're going to be able to like do a third draft, the final draft, and you're going to make it really presentable. So, but you're going to be finished writing by the end of fall. I hope that makes sense. Now, going back to the research, I made an announcement earlier today. I added to the PowerPoint because I wanted to give you guys a little bit more information about research. I've also reached out to the librarians at the main campus, and they have created your own MRD 320 page that will give you a lot of resources on how to do the research for this capstone. So I will be sending out that link for you. If you have any other questions, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to the librarians. They have a live chat, and we can even add, have the librarians add to this page as you do it. We're going to be sitting in this research section for a few weeks, which is good. You need a few weeks to compile this. So make sure you're reading peer-reviewed articles, these academic articles. As you do that, pay attention to the lit reviews that they are writing. The more lit reviews you read, the better you'll get at writing your own lit review. You'll kind of get the tone and the format of that. So again, this is where you will be persuading people to understand the back or the importance and the information that's already been done on this, and this is what's going to guide your solution. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to talk a lot more about the research. Look over the PowerPoint and how I've kind of guided you on those search words. You're going to go back to kind of your research question that you wrote 8 weeks ago and pull information out of that, keywords out of that to kind of guide your research or how you're searching for the topics, okay? I'll check in next week as we keep going, because I know this week you're just kind of setting up your matrix to get started on your research. So I'll kind of keep guiding how to keep searching for some of those sources. All right. I hope this is helpful. Please keep sending me questions. Again, I am available here in the office basically during work hours. I'll try to schedule another Wednesday before class. I know you guys are starting another class, or some of you are starting another class here. I think this week, I don't know. So I will... I'll see if I can step in. I can't really take away from the content that needs to be delivered in your current classes, but I'll see what I can do to just try to meet up with you guys, because I know time and schedules are tight. They are for me as well. So, you know, the time I work on these classes is really from like 5:30 in the morning to 7 a.m. and then again at 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. So, so it's kind of tough for me to meet with you guys.